it's Michelle and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. So I just wanted everyone to know thank you so much for going over and subscribing to my other YouTube channel. If you don't know, I have a brand new YouTube channel, Royal Daily Tea History and Fashion. We have over 700 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for going over there and supporting my channel. I hope that you will go over there and help me reach 1,000 subscribers. So right now I'm working on my royal inspired Christmas playlist. I do have my Christmas guide on there, and I have a poll on that other channel asking what video you would like to see next. So please go over there and vote. I have a lot of fun Christmas inspired videos that I will be dropping on that channel over the next couple of days because I think we can all use a palette cleanser. You guys, there is so much royalty going on. It's hard to keep up with it all, but I have some juicy royalty, so you know what to do. Sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage and possibly a barf bag, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. So the real royals were out and about last night for the very first diplomatic reception at Buckingham Palace since 2019, and Kate and both Camilla looked stunning. Catherine wore a beautiful scarlet embellished gown by her go-to designer Jenny Packham, accessorizing with the Queen Mother's lotus flower tiara, which she was last seen wearing in 2015. I loved it. She looked so glamorous, so regal, so royal. She is the epitome of class. When you look up a princess or a queen, it is literally a picture of Catherine, the Princess of Wales. She is so gorgeous and glamorous. It's like Meghan who. In my opinion, Catherine was a vision in this outfit. I really love the fact they did something a little bit different with her hair. I would love to see her take more chances in her fashion, maybe put in some braids in her hair, zhuzh up the hair a little bit. I think this was a beautiful look. I love the fact that she wore a different tiara. Queen Consort Camilla also looked beautiful. I think she looks great in blue. She wore a midnight blue gown by designer Anna Valentine and paired it with a sapphire and diamond tiara with a matching necklace. I think she looked beautiful and stunning. This is what I love to see royals doing. Business as usual, carrying on with important diplomatic work. When you look at royals, this is what you expect. It looked like the reception was well received by the 500 guests who were in attendance, and I say bravo to the royal family. So when I say to you, money can buy anything, I really mean money can buy anything except class. Right, Megan? Money definitely cannot buy class, but apparently it can buy a crap ton of awards. So you may not have heard this under the plethora of Meghan and Harry royal news that has been thrown at you, but Meghan Markle's podcast Archetypes won the People's Choice Award for the Pop Podcast of 2022. That's right, she won. Now, of course, Harry and Meghan couldn't attend the People's Choice Award because they were too busy in New York City to get the RFK Ripple of Hope Award, but Meghan did send a thank you statement that says the following. She says, quote, "Thank you to all of the supporters and fans of Archetypes who voted for us, right, for this special People's Choice Award. I loved digging my hands into the process, sitting up late at night in bed, working on the writing and creative, just like she makes that bolognese sauce and plays Wordle. And I love digging deep into meaningful conversation with my diverse and inspiring guests. Laughing and learning with them, with each of you listening." Aw, isn't that heartwarming? It has been such a labor of love with an amazing team who were each instrumental in helping to bring this series to life. Special thanks to Terry Wood, who was my right hand in this special project, along with Catherine, Rebecca, Andy, Matt, and the wider team who worked really hard to make each moment resonate. Above all, huge thanks to each of you who voted. Your support means the world. Now, we all know that Spotify bought this award because they had to justify paying $18 million for this load of crap that was put upon us under the label of Archetype podcast. They needed to make this look good. This was a good investment, y'all. She won the People's Choice Award. It's from the people. If you believe that for 1 second, I don't know what else to tell you. I think this was bought and paid for, publicity stunt, just like those huge $100,000 billboards that they put all down New York City. Spotify totally stepped in it when they spent $18 million on the Duke and Duchess of Do Nothing. So they had to make it look like it was worth it, and it's an award-winning podcast. That's my take. That is my opinion. I do not believe they won authentically. As with any of their awards, I do not think any of them were earned. I think they were all bought and paid for, just like the RFK award. Now, words have come out that apparently they've partnered with the RFK Foundation, just like they did the NAACP. So either they buy the award through their spokesperson, or they partner with organizations and they get a trophy for participation award. That's how it works with the Sussexes, in my opinion. But I do feel bad for the other people in the category who actually put in real work on their podcast just to have this woman come in and steal their thunder. So Harry and Meghan arrived in New York City last night in their private jet and gas-guzzling SUVs. Being the eco-warriors that they are, don't criticize them. Do as we say and not as we do. We know that is Harry and Meghan's motto. So they arrived and showed up for the Ripple of Hope Awards to fanfare and jeers alike. They definitely got a mix of cheers and boos in the audience. The press was definitely heckling them, and I have to say I'm loving it. I love the fact that people are starting to see the real Harry and Meghan and not the fake fluff of the fake fairy tales that they're trying to sell us, along with their pipe dream of being humanitarians and philanthropists who are kind and sweet and caring, because unfortunately, in my opinion, they are none of those things. So I found an article from a lady by the name of Jan Morey who attended the event. And she went there to see the betrayal with her own eyes, because she wasn't quite sure if they were going to show up, if they were actually going to go through with it. You know, we were all kind of wondering, are they really going to do this? Yes, apparently they did. So when she sat there, you know, she noticed that when Harry and Meghan came in, they were the toast of New York City. They were definitely the power couple, the main attraction of the evening, as the president of the Ukraine was not in attendance. So Harry and Meghan were kind of the draw of the evening. And she said you can tell that they had this kind of excitement of self-satisfaction that exuded about them. And it went all the way back to where she was sitting at her table, that you could just tell they were loving the attention. They were loving the moment. She said, surely they're not going to get on stage and accept an award where they're pretty much ruining the reputation of the entire Windsor clan, condemning his father and his brother, right? This would be considered intolerable and bigotry. She said, surely they weren't. But instead of seeing any remorse or hesitation, she said they were so gleeful and happy that they literally skipped on stage. She said Harry was wearing a lounge suit and an awful smirk, while Meghan dressed in white like a dazzling Hollywood bride, one who has spent too long in the wings and is now ready to seize her moment. And how? Exactly. She was ready for that close-up. This was all about Meghan. All eyes were on her. This is what Meghan thought royal life was going to be. One big Hollywood production of glitz and glamour and tiaras and ball gowns with major applause and cameras and adulation, standing ovations. She thought it was going to be all glitz and glamour, not going and planting trees and kissing babies and holding hands and posing for, boring events. She thought it was going to be like this, where people were just clamoring to see her, where she was the belle of the ball. So Meghan, of course, I'm not even going to read to you their whole speech, but Meghan brings up during her speech her, quote, suicide attempt. I personally, I'm going to be honest, I don't believe Meghan ever wanted to hurt herself. That is my opinion. I believe she's too narcissistic. She loves herself too much. She has worked way too hard to get where she is. She's not going to throw away the keys to the palace. I think that was a manipulation tactic that she did on Harry. Again, that is just my opinion. Of course, she has to talk about it. It's like Harry and Meghan don't have anything new to share. Everything that they talk about in their trailer for their docuseries that we've seen, it was done in the Oprah Winfrey interview. And of course, during this acceptance speech, she brings up the suicide attempt. And she says, I'm only telling people because I don't want people to feel alone. Because she's such a saint, always putting the needs of others above herself. Wink, wink. So she goes on, explaining about her, quote, suicide attempt, how she didn't want to be alive anymore, and how she felt really bad having to burden Harry with this, yada, yada, yada. And then there was a funny part in the article where the lady says, and as she clutches the microphone, what appears to be Princess Diana's aquamarine ring sparkles on her finger. And at her side is a very triumphant Prince Harry, glowing with approval and pride. So right there, guys, he is in it to win it with Meghan. They are taking the royals down with a smile and a smirk and a paycheck. There is no remorse at all. They literally have cut down the bridges and burned the boats, y'all. There is no coming back from this. Now, she said as the Sussexes leave the stage, there's a lot of applause, and there's even some people who did a standing ovation. Gag. Again, this room is full of very left-leaning, elitist people. Again, Alec Baldwin is the host of this event. So, of course, they just think these people are magnificent. But apparently not everyone felt the same way. Now, one thing I did find interesting in the article was that the author had a conversation with Gayle King. And she flat out asked Gayle King, do you really think the British royal family is racist? And she says, no, I do not, and neither do they. What? The Sussexes don't think the royal family are racist, even though they accuse them on the Oprah Winfrey show. They're accepting an award for their, quote, moral courage fighting institutional racism within the British monarchy, but they don't think they're racist? Huh? What? And then she says, yes, wait for it, it gets even better than this. She says, quote, it's for a good cause, for the best cause. What? What cause is that exactly? Hurting his family and damaging the reputation of the monarchy is for a, quote, good cause? And then the author says, yet not for the first time at this charitable event, I have the distinctly uncharitable thought that Harry and Meghan are being given this huge, glitzy, empty award for something they did not do in a situation that did not happen. Now, another hilarious part of the article is apparently people paid a lot of money to attend this event. There was a couple of different tiers. There was a VIP section where people could hobnob with Harry and Meghan. But Harry and Meghan, you guys, did not show up. They literally left. And apparently this person talked to staff members who were going to work this VIP section, and they were told, we've been told not to look directly at them. Ouch. Yeah, because they're such nice people. Yeah, don't look at us. but we're nice. So I'll leave a link for this article below, but I thought it was hilarious, her take, and it was very, very insightful on the situation. But again, it's like they are so cringeworthy. And of course, there's more of the speech that you can go and research. I don't even want to read the speech because, quite frankly, my stomach cannot take it. Meghan is a beautiful woman. I thought her hair and makeup were beautiful. The dress, in my opinion, it just didn't do it for me. It was a custom Louis Vuitton gown paired with black accessories, some beautiful earrings, and of course the aquamarine from Princess Diana. She's got to make sure she wears it. She's always got to represent Princess Diana. In my opinion, she was trying to do a tit for tat. Catherine wore the emerald choker, so therefore I'm going to wear the ring. Here's the ring. Make sure you get the ring. It's always some kind of weird competition to Meghan. But again, that is what narcissists do. So in my opinion, I didn't care for the dress. I didn't care for the cut of the dress. I just don't think it flatters her figure. And I didn't like the black with the white accessories. I would have preferred a nude or a gold or a silver. I just didn't like the black. But again, that is just my taste. I think Meghan is beautiful, but unfortunately her personality just ruins it for me. I just see Cruella de Vil when I look at her. I'm sorry. I try to be objective, but her actions and Harry, I can't stomach them. Literally cannot stomach the pair. And we're not even at the docuseries, guys. We still have to deal with the freaking docuseries. But I just cannot stomach these two grifters. So another thing I found that was hilarious, you know how Harry and Meghan are constantly distancing themselves from their docuseries because they know it's a pile of crap. So the funny thing is that the producers of the show are now fighting back saying, well, those images and pictures weren't meant to be literal. Excuse me? What? They weren't meant to be literal. You're producing a docu-series on Harry and Meghan saying how they're victims, they're being hounded by the press, their privacy is being intruded upon, his life and his family are in danger, yet you use footage and images from other people's events. You have produced zero evidence and zero proof that any of these events actually happened. That's bad, you guys. In my opinion, Harry and Meghan have not produced one shred of evidence of the racist claims and allegations, of the mistreatment of Meghan, of the planting of stories, okay, of the being hounded by the press. Meghan, in my opinion, was treated extremely well by the royal family. They made special allowances for Meghan, but yet nothing was good enough for Meghan. You know why? Because he lives in a hierarchy. His family is a hierarchy. Yes, it's called the royal family. So of course, people who are up higher than number 5 are going to have a little bit better. But Harry and Meghan are spoiled and they can't stand it. So let me just tell you how awful the royal family was to Meghan. One, they approved the marriage. She was a divorced American actress, but they approved the wedding. Not only did they approve the wedding, they let them have a church wedding. Charles and Camilla, when they were divorced, were not allowed a church wedding. However, Meghan, being a divorcee, was allowed to wear white and have a huge spectacle of a $40 million church wedding where the Queen let her wear a tiara. Meghan, as a commoner, you don't have to wear a tiara, but the Queen gave you one to wear. Also, they gave you Duchess training. They gave you a staff of 14 people to help you. The Queen also gave them the Duke and Duchess of Sussex title as a wedding gift. She didn't have to give them a dukedom. She could have just said, "You're Prince and Princess Harry of Wales." But she gave Meghan and Harry the Duke and Duchess of Sussex title, not to mention $1 million clothing allowance, Frogmore Cottage as a wedding gift. They also hired a black preacher and a black choir for their wedding, and that was on the suggestion, I believe, of Prince Charles. Not to mention, Charles walked Meghan down the aisle when her father could not attend the wedding. They also gave Archie a royal christening. They even gave him a title, the Earl of Dumbarton, which they turned down. The Queen offered a title and it wasn't good enough. They turned it down. Not to mention, they invited Doria to Christmas before Meghan was married into the family, which they didn't even do for Kate's family, who dated William for 8 years. Her family, no special treatment. Doria, special treatment. Not to mention, they were invited to the family Christmases back in 2019 and they turned it down. So can you please explain to me where the royal family was mean to Meghan, where they were racist? Because I'm seeing a lot of really good treatment. If you consider this bad treatment, then you can treat me bad. I will take everything that Meghan rejected. Let me know where I can sign up. Now, I have a hard time believing that the royals were pitted against each other. They were sabotaging each other. You have to remember the Queen was there for 70 years. I do not believe the Queen or Prince Philip would allow their children and grandchildren to mercilessly attack and destroy one another. Also, one can be more popular than the other, because the Queen was not about a popularity contest. She was about doing the job, period. Now, was there infighting? Is there competition? Is there jealousy? Of course, with any family, it's going to happen. But to say that they purposely wanted to destroy and sabotage and leak negative stories is not true. However, I can totally believe that Harry and Meghan leaked stories. Because when Harry and Meghan, especially Meghan, was receiving horrible news in the press, which 90% of it she brought to the royal family with her own drama, she didn't like the fact they weren't correcting and stopping the stories. So she thought, oh, you're not going to stop my stories? Well, then I'm going to create stories about you. I believe she instructed her friend to make up that rumor of William having an affair, because they are connected. She's jealous. She is a narcissistic woman, and those people will do anything to destroy people who they feel are a threat, period. And history speaks for itself. The docuseries is dropping tomorrow. I personally feel like Netflix, you could have saved yourself a whole lot of trouble. You could have just purchased the rights to the Oprah Winfrey interview and called it a day. Because literally these two are a one-trick pony, and they're going to talk about the same crap they've been talking about for 2.5 years, wrapped in the cloak of his mummy and his victimhood. That's exactly what we're going to see over, 6 episodes? Literally could have saved yourself millions of dollars and just bought it from Oprah and put it on Netflix and called it a day. Seriously. But no, it's going to be, like I said, the Oprah Winfrey interview on crack. And the fact that people are already debunking it, calling out the inconsistencies, it's going to be a holy train wreck. Now, the news around the water cooler is that Netflix is not happy because they could be sued. That's right. You put in fake footage of other people and say that this was actually happening to Harry and Meghan when in fact it wasn't. That's not good. So someone is going to have to pay the piper. Someone's got to pay for that footage. That's right. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. So what do you guys think of the Sussexes picking up 2 awards in 1 week? One for Archetype's podcast and one for their, quote, moral courage. And what do you guys think about the docuseries dropping tomorrow? Do you plan to watch it? Now, I've had a couple people ask me, since I don't have my Patreon, how can they support my channel? Well, if you'd like to send me a tip, guys, you guys can hit the heart button here on my video and send me a super thanks, or you can get the link in my bio and buy me a cup of coffee. But of course, the #1 way to support my channel is 1, be yourself, 2, subscribe to the channel, and 3, watch my videos. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.